Heyo guys, it's Brock here, and it's finally out. The new Weezer album is out. I've been waiting probably since last winter for this, whenever the Feels Like Summer single dropped. Oddly enough, in winter. So, Pacific Daydream. What do I think of it? Is it truly a daydream, or is it more like a Pacific nightmare? Have my opinions changed on any of the singles? And what do I think of side B? Well, let me just start off by saying this album this album is actually okay. No, really, it's actually a pretty decent album. So, without further ado, let's get right into the review. So, yeah, Pacific Daydream. So, it seems like we've kind of run into a problem here. At least with side A. See, I kind of already reviewed all of the singles. Well, minus Happy Hour, but we'll get to the reason why I didn't review that here in a bit. But, yeah, I guess we can just run down the entire track listing again, or at least all the singles. So, yeah, I still think Mexican Fender is a pretty solid song. Opinions haven't really changed about that. It's strong enough to hold the opening track. Although I will admit it is a bit of a fake out for what the rest of the album is going to sound like. I'm not saying it's a straight up, if you're wondering, fake out, but... Oh, and don't worry, we're going to get to the Ratatouille topic later, too. But, yeah, I think my feelings have stuck with it. You know, nothing's really changed that much. And then, the real big stinker, Feels Like Summer. I just want to kind of get my thoughts on this thing, like, right out the gate. Has it changed? Since my initial review, I thought pretty highly of it. And then, after, if you can see, I sort of kept changing my score of it in the description of that video. I think it was like a 4 to a 5. So, I went from loving it to despising it to being sort of mad with it. So, where do I fall now? To be honest, the EDM version at least, I think it's catchy enough to be a decent song. You know, like, it's catchy enough. It's, you know, it's alright. But, we're also we have a lot to talk about, people, so brace yourself. So, yeah. Beach Boys is the next one up. On the chopping block. Overall, my opinions haven't changed on it. People seem to think it's kind of sort of bland and samey. I honestly don't think so. I think the bass and the guitar work is actually pretty hooky. Excuse me. Sorry. This is why I usually don't do live cuts. But yeah, I think I think the guitar work and the chorus is pretty left hooky enough. Like I think this is like one of the most kind of left hook experiments that they've done, at least with a Weezer chorus, that I've ever heard. Nothing too special with the bridge. But, well, let me just say, the bridges on this album, like, are amazing. Weezer have always been amazing with making fantastic, spectacular bridges. And I just want to say, yeah, they're all fantastic on this album. So, yeah. And then, Weekend Woman. By far, my second favorite song on this album. Sorry. Now, you may be wondering, well, what's the favorite? Well, I'll get to that in a bit. And, honestly, my favorite track on the album may very well be one of my favorite Weezer songs of all time. And then, Happy Hour. Why didn't I review Happy Hour? Because it sucked. And to be honest, like, even the most mainstream sounding songs on here, like Happy Hour and, you know, like Sweet Mary and Get Right, and I mean, like, even like the most mainstream songs on this album are still way better than most of the stuff on pop radio now. And that's the thing. These songs are honestly catchy enough that I'd be okay with them getting on the radio. I mean, if it helps gain Weezer a bit of a fan base, then yeah, I'm all for it. Like I said, I can forgive almost anything and the music's good. And for the most part, I'd say the music is either really hit or miss. Or just So yeah, then we go to, if I'm not mistaken, QB Blitz. And if I'm being honest here, I think it's just a washed up White Album track that didn't make it to the final cut. Although, hey, I think, you know, it sounds catchy. Like I said, it sounds catchy enough. And, you know, it's hooky enough. And honestly, like, I stayed up all night last night listening to this multiple times. And, you know, the bridge on this thing is also spectacular. And, yeah. And then, we go to Sweet Mary. And I feel like this Sweet Mary is one of the more meh tracks. I could live without it. I could live with it. Overall, like, again, it's also catchy enough, and oh my god, it's Groundhog Day. Okay, here's my next problem. All of the songs on this thing are so just like this, not samey, but they all have sort of the same problem. Like, they're catchy enough, they're hooky enough, you know, they're cute enough. Like, this is sort of cute and cuddly Weezer, not like hardcore 94 Weezer, or at least what they were doing on eBay anyways, which, fantastic album. And a part of me does miss that, and I hope to God the Black Album can bring that back. But, you know, this isn't that bad of a pit stop, this isn't that bad of a detour. And when you guys think about this, I've come to realize these are just songs that aren't gonna make it onto the Black Album. Like, sort of what happened, at least what I think happened, was something along the lines of, yeah, it feels like summer. Guys, I don't think this is working out. Like, I don't know. What are we gonna do?
I don't know, man. What do you want to do with it?
I mean, this is kind of, like, just turning out to be a lost cause. Like, I don't know, let's just abandon ship. Just screw it. You know, screw this crap. You know, screw it.
What do you want to do now, man?
I don't know. You want to make this into an album? I mean, we could tease the Black Album a little bit.
Sounds good to me, man.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah!
Mainstream, here we come. And that sort of leads me to my next point. The whole mainstream argument. Yeah, this is definitely mainstream. Like, I'm not gonna, like, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, some of the best music of all time is, like, mainstream to the moon and back. Like, lest we remember, Nirvana's Nevermind is, like, one of the best-selling albums of all time. That's mainstream as all, you know, as mainstream as you can get. Mind you, I am not comparing Nevermind to this album. I'm just saying, mainstream music isn't always bad music. So, yeah. Anyways, moving along. Then we get on to Get Right, which, again, another catchy, like, just meh song. And here comes to my next point. The production on this thing is just so, like, sugary and just like I'm getting diabetes from listening to this. Like, it's just like, what's with the production on this thing anyways? Who's the producer of this album? Butch Walker. Where have I heard that name before? Oh god, no! Oh god! Wow, isn't that this album's biggest problem? So, most of you guys may not know already that this album has the same producer as Ratitude. Old habits don't really die hard with you guys, do they? No, but seriously, if there's I felt there was something that was keeping this album from being honestly better than what it was, and it's the production. This is just the production is so just too glittery and it's too poppy and sugary for a Weezer album. Anyways, that's all I have against this album. Maybe there's something, maybe just something to make up for this. Take me now, God, for I no longer fear death. I have heard the most beautiful Weezer solo since probably Ubate. I no joke sincerely I sincerely mean that. And get this, it's a freaking acoustic solo. Imagine you're just you have your regular well, no, screw that. Weezer's just out here going like a good old acoustic, this guy's. Ooh, this is insane. God, if this was something the album had more of, give it. If this kind of crap, we got solos like this on the Black Album, just take my money. But God, this is this album's saving grace for me, at least. This is also probably one of my new favorite Weezer songs ever. And not to mention, this is the most darkest. Talking about this friend that Rivers had that died. Dude, that hurt. My heart hurts listening to this song. Emotionally, this is one of the heaviest songs Weezer has ever written. But God, if it doesn't have a payoff, wow. Just freaking wow. Anyways. Yeah. That's my thoughts on this album. Anyways, I think it's a decent enough album. Just to keep us busy until the Black Album. Wait a second. I just realized something. White Album was released in 2016. This album was released in 2017. And supposedly the Black Album is going to be released in 2018. They released an album each year. They're going to release an album each year for 3 years. Why does that sound so familiar? Oh God, no. Weezer, please, no. Bad. Stay, Weezer. Anyways, I think this album's catchy enough. Is it worth checking out? Definitely. Although, don't make this be your first listen if you're new to the Weezer fandom. Anyways, I'm feeling a strong 7 out of 10. So, the next big question: where does this album rank? Seeing as I did my ranked video a while ago, well, let's just go by process of elimination. Is it better than Ratitude? Yes. Better than Make Believe? Yes. Is it better than Hurley? I think so. Is it better than the Green Album? Yeah, I think so. Is it better than the Red Album? Maybe just by the slightest bit. Is it better than Maladroit? Nah. I feel like this is just middle of the road, Weezer.